not sponsored. Gear Review Turbo. After waiting for 2.5 years, I finally got my hands on my Lab-Box, a home STD testing kit. Just kidding, epic filmmakers, but that is an unfortunate coincidence in names that I may or may not have stumbled upon by accident while looking for more information on the Lab-Box, the film one. Anyway, the Lab-Box is the self-proclaimed world's first multi-format daylight loading film tank funded via Kickstarter. In fact, they proudly boast on their Twitter profile that it was 938% funded.
That's a lot of
funding.
The post about their success went out on March 28th, 2017. 2.5 years and 41 Kickstarter updates later, I got my Lab-Box, the film one. So how does it work? Basically, you retrieve your film lead with the included film lead retriever tool, you cut this flippy tail part off, you pop it in here, you weave it under here, you clip it on here, you put the cover on here, and then you crank it on here. That's it. Very simple, very convenient. Let me know in the comments below if you want a real tutorial for the Lab-Box, but for the purpose of this review, I'm not spending a lot of time on it. Then you can pour whatever chemistry you like in there and agitate away. They even include a crank accessory. I'm not sure if that's standard or not, that might be a Kickstarter thing. Also, an important little note about your chemistry here, though you can fill the tank all the way, they recommend only filling it halfway and constantly agitating. So now that you know how it works in theory, how well does it work? Well, I have to say, in my personal experience at first, it didn't work very well for me. But let me explain. After thoroughly enacting the RTFM protocol, I thought I was doing everything right, but after developing 5 rolls of film, they all came out with the same issue: blank splotches, blank areas that didn't develop. If you look closely, it seems as though the film stuck to itself on the reel, and because it's in the box, there was no real feedback to know that that was happening or not. So I took to the web, I posted on Reddit, surprisingly got some helpful and not snarky feedback. I posted on here, hi McMillman. I posted on Twitter. Twitter sucks anyway. And finally, I Facebook messaged Ars-Imago, and holy crap, they replied. I also don't know if I'm saying your name right, sorry. Anyway, turns out you can fully assemble the reel backwards. These reels snap back together, lock into place, and fit back into the Lab-Box and turn without issue backwards, assembled incorrectly. So please, 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 please don't mistake your left and right like me. You could mess up your film badly. I guess matching this L to this L and this R to this R was a little too complicated for my big brain. Anyway, take a quick look at the bad rolls with me. I will say the areas on the negatives that don't seemingly stick to each other come out as you'd expect, they're clean, but the areas that stuck together, they're fucked. But I'm very happy to say that after fixing the reel, a few more rolls went right through perfectly. For your reference, these were shot on tracks 400, developed using the Cinestill DF96 monobath. Most of them were shot on my Pentax K1000. I'm thrilled that the issue was user error, honestly. I'm sure there are some people in the comments that are gonna make fun of me for it, but frankly, I'm happier to say that I'm the smooth brain who messed up. I would much prefer to say that I'm the idiot rather than say that this product that we've waited so long for is unusable. So I'll take an L in favor of putting out bad information. Plus, who knows, this story might help someone who's experiencing the exact same issue I was. So apart from my initial errors that were, again, my fault, the only real negative I can point out is that the lip where you pour the chemistry in is pretty narrow. So it's easy to spill, but if you're careful, that's a pretty small issue that you can easily overlook. So who is this for? Well, for starters, I think someone who's just starting out, this might be a really good option because it's all in one. It's a little bit simpler and it's a little bit more streamlined than the traditional Patterson tank where you go into the dark or go into the dark bag, whatever the case may be. I also think it's just a really good tool, honestly. For someone who's been doing this for a while, to have something that will streamline their process is probably valued. I think it's a little bit more hands-off than the traditional Patterson tank method though. So it really depends on what you like. If you enjoy getting in the dark, getting your hands dirty, all that fun stuff, then you'll probably prefer the Patterson tank. But if you prefer hands-off, a little bit quicker, a little bit more streamlined, the Lab-Box might be a good choice. For me personally, the combo with the monobath, it just makes life easy. I don't need to go into the dark and I can just put the roll of film in the box and I'm basically good to go. But I also value that quiet time in the darkroom sometimes. Getting away from the phone, just having the quiet, it's kind of cathartic. So if I'm being honest with you, I'm sure I'm going to keep developing using the Lab-Box and the traditional Patterson tank. Just depends on the mood. With my initial problems, I wasn't going to put this on the Owen Wilson scale, but since I got it working like it should be, I'm giving the Lab-Box 8 Owen Wilson wows out of 10. Good luck luck if you got a lab box. I hope this video helped you, and if you're considering getting one, I hope this helped you make your decision, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, smash subscribe, give me a like, give me a comment, tell me your experience if you have a lab box, tell me if you want one, add me on MySpace, I'm on Discord, Instagram, smash subscribe. Also, all the new people from the egg video, welcome. All those subscribers coming in, that was like a really big hug. Makes me happy. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye. After their success update went out March 28th, 2017, and 2.5 years. Also an important little note here about your chemistry. Though you can fill the tank all the way, the recommended, it's a little bit simpler, it's a little bit more streamlined than the
Like and subscribe to Sweet Lou Photography, the man.